Right where I'm standing, I'm less than 400 feet from the ocean. When you're building a deck in a coastal application, you can't do it a normal way. Today, we're going to show you an innovative approach to building a deck when you're that close to the salt water. Arnold Lumber has been a partner of New England builders and homeowners for over 100 years. Our goal is to elevate projects to their highest potential through top quality product solutions and above and beyond service on all projects from start to finish. Now, we're teaming up with industry leaders and the area's best builders to give you insights on the latest material technologies, best practices, and unique projects. This is Breaking Ground. Hey folks, Tom with Arnold Lumber here with another episode of Breaking Ground. On this episode, we're going to show you just what the challenges are when you're building a deck in a coastal application near the ocean. These challenges range from corrosion considerations to floodplain and any number of zoning issues that you have to contend with. Those challenges aside, it still shouldn't stop you from creating a beautiful masterpiece and getting creative with that approach. On this episode, our friends from Keylink and AZEK are going to show us how they helped us achieve just that. Let's check it out. So early stages of this job, can you just give us a quick briefing of what we're looking at here? Looks like you started a little bit, but what did this used to be and where are we at now and where are you taking us with this project?
All right, Tom, so back here, we're gonna take that deck off. We already took the stairs off.
Yeah, I can see that.
And we're gonna do some work to the back of the house. In working with this whole thing, we're working with Ben from Vision Landscaping, who's working with the backyard.
Yep.
And they're gonna do a retaining wall here and then a complete patio around this whole pool.
This new pool, yeah.
And that's all gonna be from the backyard up at Arnold's. And then we're gonna take this deck off and we're gonna bring this deck out 18 or 20 feet this way.
Off the house.
Off the house.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna run this way.
Okay.
All the way till just about the end of the house.
Got it.
And then we're gonna use another icon joist system with a double icon beam
Great.
system.
Cool.
When we do that, we'll have a set of stairs here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a set of stairs there. We're gonna do a complete cable rail system by Keylink.
Oh, nice.
We're actually
Good.
gonna put the coastal upgrade package into this one because we're so close to the salt water.
Make sure you don't get any of that deterioration. And corrosion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then some of these panels and all of this siding is gonna come off, and this is some of the original vinyl shake shingles we're gonna do here, which is gonna be a little different. Is up here on this set of stairs, we're in a flood zone, which is why we have these knockout panels right here. That keeps the house above flood elevation at 13 feet. And so the deck has to stay where it is to keep everything out of flood zone. But where that door is, we're gonna build a screening wall with a door in it. We're gonna do AZEK decking on a hash like this, 45 all the way down the wall.
Oh, that'll look cool.
With a gate, so that when you're sitting on this deck, you won't see any of the pool equipment because the pool equipment cannot go
on the ground
because of the flood zone. So it's all going to be elevated up in the air.
Got it. All right, that's smart. Cool. So we're going to have a complete new backyard with a new pool.
Yep.
A complete new deck, tear down and rebuild.
Yep.
Keylink railing. Lots to see and think about. We'll see you next time we get back out here.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Here we are again, a little bit chilly today, but I can see you guys have already started getting the helical screw piles into the ground. Can you tell us again a little bit about what this is and why you all choose to use this over traditional footings?
Yeah. Concrete footings, a lot of times you go to do concrete, we got to dig the hole. Sometimes you got to rock, sometimes you don't, but then you got to buy all the sonotube, put them all in, then you got to wait for a building inspector, then he inspects them, then you got to pour the concrete, then you got to let the concrete dry.
Right.
We have 23 going in. We started this morning. We will probably, if we don't finish today, we will definitely finish tomorrow morning without a problem. Versus trying to dig 23 holes.
Right.
Put in 23 sonotubes, get the inspection, and then do it. It'll take 3 to 4 days by the time it's all said and done.
Got it.
Whereas this, in a normal deck, we actually can put these in and start framing right away. I don't need a footing inspection with this because I have the specs for this, and because I'm installing it, I'm the certified installer to write what the spec is. So the building inspector just asks me for my spec sheet. I upload it into our portal and we're done. So they never have to come out for a footing inspection when we do this.
The time of the digging of the holes, the time of the waiting for the inspection, then pouring the concrete, waiting for the cure. All of that's cut out of this.
This is called a helical pile. This is called an M2. We buy it from a company called Masscore up in Canada. It's a 3-inch diameter.
Yep.
Okay, it runs a 12-inch what they call helix. That's what this is.
See it, yep.
Okay, and this helix is 3/8 thick, and everything is all cut, galvanized, and welded. Okay, this is our go-to pile.
Got it.
This is 5 feet. So when you see what we just drove, our footing is 54 inches in the ground already.
Wow.
So we switched to these a few years ago. We run a 10,000-pound torque head on our machine. We use a spec, and it's done off hydraulic pressure differences. You read what one went to, you read what the other one is, you take the difference, and that's your number. We have our set for 5650 PSI,
okay,
which is where we need to be in order to make everything work engineering-wise. And then we put these on, and this is our base, our adjustable base.
Okay.
Instead of having to put the Simps in with the uplift, this has the through bolt holes. We put self-tapping screws into it that come with the pile, and then we can dial this in. We can dial our depth so that we can get them all close.
Fine tune.
If we really wanted to, we could shoot this and get every single post the exact same height.
That's brilliant. So once it's in the ground, then we come over, you put your, what are we calling this base?
It's an adjustable cap base.
Adjustable cap base. And then now, here's where my posts are going to come.
Right, and then we take this, we put our posts in here, put our 6x6s in here, and then these 3 holes on each side, we'll get fasten master structural screws right through it. We bolt our pole right where it's supposed to be, and then that's it. We just get going.
It's a brilliant system. It goes in quick, keeps you guys on the job faster, nice and sturdy. So next step is getting the rest of these in, and then we can start putting posts in and framing this up.
And then we'll start putting our posts in, notching our beams. We'll have everything level, and then Icon will come. They'll drop their system off. Everything will be labeled, and the guys will just start running them.
Can't wait to see it happen. Thanks for showing us the ropes here. Last time we were here, Ray, this place was pretty tore up, and I can see now grass is in, pavers are down. I'm excited to see the transition. Man, there's so much to unwrap here, and I want to get all the details because it's gorgeous. Why don't we take a minute and go back to where we left off. Last time we were here, we were putting in the screw piles to support the deck.
Correct.
Let's take it back there and show us now the installation of those posts, how the deck went up, and let everybody see how these screw piles helped us out with the job.
There's so many places to start, but I mean, if we're going to start, we'll start right here. So the privacy walls were all built on the bluestone caps from the wall below. This whole thing started with multi-width decking on the deck itself. So then we started doing it on the walls, and we started trying to come up with patterns as to how high things go and how do you end with an equal board.
And the multi-width decking, again, all these things are interesting, and not everybody does this. I mean, it seems to me it would be real easy to just pick one width of decking, get it all, make all your cuts and slap the stuff up. It would go real quick and easy. Why the multi-width other than...
Multi-width changes the look of the deck itself. It also gives it a completely different designing feel. If you walked into an old house and you looked at the old multi-width floors, instead of just a 2 3/4 oak flooring. You know, I mean, it adds a depth to the dimension of it.
And that character comes from the tradition of, you didn't always have the same width boards back in the day when you were doing anything, whether it was flooring, siding, or otherwise. So when you intentionally use that approach, you get this cool character that really has a feeling of tradition and heritage to it.
Yeah, it's kind of old to new.
Yeah.
And this is TimberTech AZEC. This is the Coastline series.
Yep.
Very popular with us, and obviously we Cortex everything. But so this is
Cortexing everything, so
all
people
the plugs,
know
so no one
we
can
do
see.
not see where the fasteners went.
7.5, 5.5, 3.5.
3 different widths.
The 3 different widths. Then we went with a 7.5 cap in dark hickory.
Beautiful.
Just to kind of set it off. And the dark hickory to the gray, kind of to the dark to the gray. Everything just kind of ties itself together.
The pattern of the multi-tonal resonates from the privacy walls to the decking floor to the masonry on the patio.
Right, and we did this wall and this the same, like the caps and the tops of everything. The stairs, if you look at the stairs, like we did the outside in the multi-width and then went to a small strip to look like the 3.5.
Again,
so this to this looks like that to that, right there.
And it really, I mean,
It's just a detail
That
thing.
detail, though, adds so much to the character. It's multi-tonal. It would be easy to just put a tread there and be done and move on with your...
Oh, it'd be very easy.
Even the way you mitered this, I could put one slab of a wide board down there and start using the stairs instead. The look of this is gorgeous.
We try and return everything, and I'll show you something quick. Because the way walls end, and sometimes it happens on decks where a deck board ends, we have a thing, we use a Festool router with a special bit and some glue and some heat, and we actually what they call waterfall the edge. And what that means is right here, where this deck board, instead of just being an end cut like this one, this, you heat it, you bend it, you wrap it. So now it looks like this deck board went just like that. You want to see how we did this?
I would love to see how we
All
did
right,
this.
let's go take a look.
All right, cool.
So the waterfall that we just showed you on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, this is what we call our waterfall jig.
Is that a patented technology?
No, it should be, but it's not. This jig right now is set for this piece of 5.5-inch decking.
Okay.
Okay, we can open it up, we can close it to the multi-width decking that we have.
All right.
So you take it, you pick it, you put it face down. And now Jake, who's gonna show us how he does all this, he'll take this shim, he wedges this to where he wants it. Our Festool router will ride in here. And then what it does is we take this 45 bit, he will run it through here. After he's done, there'll be that V groove. And then we use the 2P10.
The adhesive. Yeah.
The adhesive and the DeWalt heat gun, and we will heat this up, fold this over, the glue will set, and then it's done. That's how we make this.
Bending that corner is awesome. Looks beautiful. Thanks for showing us how that's done. Let's get a look at some of the other details. Again, there's so much going on here. What else? Tell us about what's happening with the wall
homeowner
here.
really wanted to make a statement because obviously he's going to be sitting in his pool, he's going to be sitting out here in his deck.
Yeah.
And this is what you're going to be looking at. So if you step back just a little bit, you can kind of pick up that we went into a 45.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did it with the multi-width.
Right.
And with the coastline, it changes a little bit of a color depending on the angle you're looking at it. But he wanted to do something different.
It is different.
So we decided to do this. Now, if you're out here and you're on this deck and you're looking up and you go, hey, what's at my house? You say, oh, so I see this beautiful wall. And then we interrupt it with the white, and then you keep going. And then we did AZEK board and batten across the whole back of the house while we were working on the deck. So we kind of cleaned the whole thing up and turned this into an outdoor oasis for him.
What a difference it makes. It is beautiful. I love the design of it. I love the effect of the faux optical illusion of the two-tone color. Gorgeous. Love that. All right, let's head upstairs.
So then you come up here and we did it all over. We changed everything all over again. Feature strips, borders,
Yeah.
wide width decking.
Multi-width again up here for that beautiful look. Can I just say again, by the way, when I'm standing on this deck, and when you look and see no fasteners, that Cortex technology, man, it is perfect. I mean, you stand back and look, and if I span this thing, you have to try hard to find where all those little plugs are.
It's just like the wall on their board and batten, nothing.
And you
that's,
don't want to see it.
know,
And the fact that they came up with a solution for that is incredible.
This house is so close to the water. On the other side of the house, where you're in the water. A lot of aluminum rails have problems. Coastal Upgrade Package by Keylink, they literally spray the inside of all the posts.
The inside.
The inside.
Okay.
You have to wait for it.
'Cause it's gonna get
They
there.
will spray the inside of everything. Then your outside coat of black or white, whatever you want. It changes the warranty. They recommend it when you're within so many thousands of feet of the water.
Sure. And it's a recommendation. You don't have to do it. But that extra touch is going to add to the longevity.
If you don't do it and there's a problem,
You're not covered.
then you're kind of on your own. So it's you know what? It's kind of like that extended warranty on a car. You buy it because if something does go wrong, you're covered.
You're good. Got it.
Where we are, if you're going through all of this with all these maintenance-free things, the last thing I want is to come back and take this all apart in 10 years.
Come this far.
It's
The
rotting.
corrosion resistance treatment makes sense this close to the water. So the siding is a beautiful look. Last time we were here, it was shingles.
Unlike regular vinyl clapboard, you can unzip them.
Yeah, yeah.
Vinyl shingles you can't unzip.
So part of the
Started at
demo
top,
was you had
and
to,
we had to take them down to redo the deck system.
so you had to take them
Because
down anyway.
There was no deck over here. This was all just shingles. There was some problems with some of the window trim, and he wanted to do a couple of things different.
Okay.
So he said, well, maybe we can find a different vinyl shingle, or maybe something to make the back of the house kind of stand out a little bit. So I was talking to him about the Paint Pro. If he wanted to try and do a color or something, he said, I wouldn't mind just making it white since everything else is going to be a black and a color. So if we could go with the white, he goes, that would look really nice. And I said, well, we'll do a board and batten, AZEK trim, windows, doors.
Yeah.
I said, we'll clean the whole back of the house
The
up.
trim looks great
And
around the windows.
he
now.
was like, this is what I've been looking for.
What a nice
so
touch.
We wrapped this into going into the deck, and so now basically from here down and out is all brand new in his backyard.
And what a nice accent when you're standing in the backyard. If you're at the pool, what a nice statement this makes, this board and batten with the look of the back of
the
this.
dormer will probably be next, because now that he's seen this,
Yeah.
he's already talking about doing a bunch of siding on the house.
It looks great. Well, that does it for this episode of Breaking Ground. It goes to show you that despite the challenges of a coastal application, that shouldn't stop you from getting creative, and how a project can go from an original concept to something really extraordinary by the time you're done. Thank you to Keylink and AZEK Exteriors, TimberTech Decking, for the technologies that they have in allowing us to make this project possible. And a special thank you to Decks by Jalex for allowing us on the job site and sharing their techniques to this really unique approach. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, remember to subscribe, share, and comment on the episode. And until next time, I'm Tom with Arnold Lumber. Thanks for watching Breaking Ground.